Yo, it's your boy King Jr. and we got another boxing video for y'all. And a lot of people was wondering with this I guess promotional company that Terence Crawford signed with, BLK Prime. And a lot of people is saying that Crawford is getting paid $10 million, so on and so forth, guaranteed to fight David Abanesian. And shout out to AM Boxing Sports Media for pointing this out as well. I don't find it legit that Crawford's getting paid $10 million because there's people in this company that don't even look like they have the money to pay Crawford up front to get him the $10 million. And even if Crawford does do good numbers or whatever the case may be, it's still not going to be enough money to pay Terence Crawford. And if you guys don't know what BLK Prime is, BLK Prime is like a thing where, like, if you're an unknown fighter, whatever the case may be, you're just coming up through the ranks and stuff like that to get your name out there, that's where you basically go to and sign up. It's a decent network. I'm just not guaranteed and trustworthy of this network. And it looks like Crawford could potentially made another bad business decision, who knows. So I'm just gonna let the video play. This video will be under fair use. I'm just expressing my opinions and thoughts on this, on how I feel about Crawford making another bad decision. So this is educational purposes only. So I'm gonna sit back and let the video play, and I'll express my thoughts towards the end of the video about this. So let's start it.
Kenneth Frith. So let me take a look at Kenneth Frith. So currently he's the co-founder and chief operating officer of Rock 11. That means it's just his company. It's based out of Prague. Here we actually see the BLK Prime vice president. Let's look at what Kenneth was doing prior to BLK Prime. New home consultant, Leonard Holmes, San Francisco, real estate agent, Keller Williams Realty, Winkler Real Estate, licensed realtor. And he went from there to the vice president of production of a company that could possibly pay Terence Crawford $10 million? Does that make sense? This man had absolutely no history, no prior experience based on his LinkedIn in production and entertainment. He was a real estate agent, and now he's the VP of production of an entity that can pay Terence Crawford $10 million guaranteed. Well, let's keep going.
Well, to me, that don't even sound right. I don't believe this guy, whatever, Kenneth Frith, can pay Terence Crawford $10 million, not with that background. So let's continue.
Because to me, that doesn't make any sense. So Lalene S. So let's see Lalene. COO BLK Prime, Chief Operating Officer. So prior to that, she worked in hospitality. She worked at Hilton as a director of destination marketing. Like she was a travel associate a manager of marketing at a travel association. So she was basically in hospitality. She went from hospitality to entertainment, doing movies, videos, and all that other stuff. And now she is a principal at Stellar Preparatory High School. And it looks like she's a contract principal. So she was a senior sourcer, THW Consultants. So she basically went from COO to BLK Prime to basically a recruiter to now a principal at a high school. Does this sound like someone who is the chief operating officer of an entity that can afford to pay Terence Crawford $10 million?
Now I have to stop the video on this. Now that don't even sound right. How can you go from a senior sourcer, whatever that is, back to a high school principal? So you was basically the COO of Black, must be the highest rank at BLK Prime, to a principal? That don't even sound right. I don't even think she would be able to pay Terence Crawford. Maybe if she sold unknown substance or illegal stuff outside of the BLK Prime to pay Terence Crawford $10 million, because that lady, that don't even sound right. Ain't no high school principal gonna pay Terence Crawford no $10 million. So let's continue.
Guaranteed. She is a principal right now, and right now, up under her actual name, she claims that she is a sourcer and a recruiter. So she's basically a recruiter. How is it possible that she was the COO of an entity that could afford to pay Terence Crawford $10 million and not bat an eye, have no issue? Because you got to think about it. A company that can pay him $10 million, that has to be a pretty big entity. So let's look at someone.
And BLK Prime is not a big entity, because how I found this out as well, BLK Prime also promotes street beat fighters. If you guys ever wonder why their street beats have certain type of fighters, like if you be a big name on street beats and stuff like that, knocking people out in the yard, whatever the case may be, they give you a special opportunity to fight on BLK Prime. And so once you get out the street beats realm, they allow you to have a name so you can be able to promote yourself on other networks to fight. I know BLK Prime from Blue Blood and Street Beats. That's how I picked up on BLK Prime. So let's continue.
So he was not listed, but he was working at BLK Prime. Arian Johnson. So he's a graduate of Jackson State University. He was the marketing director of BLK Prime Studio. Now he's an estate manager, otherwise known as a personal assistant and a house manager. So you had a guy that was the director of one of their studios. He's now a house sitter or a house manager. Does that sound like an entity that could afford to pay Terence Crawford $10 million guaranteed? Guys, just looking at this on the surface and going through here and just looking at some of the people that actually worked at BLK Prime, it does not make a whole lot of sense that this is an entity. I'm not saying that they're not a legit entity, but they don't seem to be an entity that could actually afford to pay him a $10 million guarantee.
Well, I'm going to stop it right there. I think we heard enough. It looks like, in my opinion, that Terence Crawford has made another bad business decision making. Why would you sign with a company that's just now getting off the ground to promote fighters and other sorts of business and entertainment, whatever BLK Prime does, and you're thinking, oh, they're gonna pay me $10 million, why not? All you're doing is just promoting them, helping build their brand up. Now, it would have been all right if you would have signed on a Triller brand, fought David Avenesian on Triller, because Triller, they have the money to pay anybody, who cares, you know? But you're fighting on a network that does not have legitimate people, that is a higher entity or a higher power to pay you $10 million. And so how can you go from a woman that was a COO in BLK Prime, and now she's back to a principal, then you got this guy here that went from like a personal assistant to a house manager. Ain't no way he's getting paid $10 million from BLK Prime. Even if Crawford does maybe $200,000, it still won't be enough to pay him the $10 million. So another bad business decision by Terence Crawford. I don't think he's getting paid $10 million. He just basically signed with a scam, in my opinion. If Crawford gets paid $10 million, I would be shocked, because this promotional company he's fighting on, whatever the case may be, BLK Prime, is not even known. I just think Crawford signed with BLK Prime is because in my opinion, I feel like that he wants to fight. Maybe he's going to get a lot of revenue drawn in because he's going to be fighting in his hometown, Omaha, Nebraska. You're going to be surprised how badly this pay-per-view flops, in my opinion. So I'm going to end it off right there, guys. So with that being said, guys, go subscribe to AM Boxing Sports Media. It's a really good boxing news over there. So please go subscribe to them. And with that being said, guys, it is what it is. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. This is your boy, King Jr. We will be back with some more boxing news. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.